Da 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 do 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 do.
It is the playoffs.
Da 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 do 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 do.
And all your teams got knocked out.
Rob, some reason added lyrics to the intro, and he's never done that. And I guess it doesn't matter now. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Because season's over.
Yeah. Well,
You're there. You're with us. Welcome to
Yeah.
the Jets.
Welcome.
yeah, joined the week 2 Jets. Season ended for them in week 2.
Yep.
And man,
The week 19 Patriots and Steelers.
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
So we'll start out with some happier news. Sean Payton has informed Saints he's stepping away. Now, this is happy for me because he's always beaten the Packers in some weird fashion. So he's gone.
Yep.
That's good.
That's one of the longest tenured coaches almost, I think.
Yeah.
He actually is. What is it? 2000?
No.
Belichick
I think
has to be still, right?
And Tomlin is, I think, still longer than him too, right?
Well, Tomlin doesn't. He's done. He's not. He doesn't coach. Oh, Tom. Oh, I was thinking of fucking Tom, the Giants' old coach. What was his name?
Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin. Yeah, I just heard old and I just my brain went Tom Coughlin.
Oh, 2006.
Yeah,
2006 is when he took over the Saints.
Yeah. It's a long damn time.
That is a long time. Yeah, that's just wow. Yeah, I mean, I was in high school.
Oh, Tomlin 2007.
Oh, Tomlin's 2000. Wow, so you'd had him by a year.
Yeah, by a year.
That is actually wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, that's actually really big for the Saints because
Yeah.
It's time to rebuild everything.
Yeah. He also gave Taysom Hill his contract and then retired from the Saints, which is funny.
oh yeah, that's right.
Like an hour ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's still pretty young too, so this might be like a retire and come back in a year for another team kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true too. He might just take a break and then be like, I'm bored and come back. Like, who knows?
That does happen.
Yeah.
Players at least they're like,
I mean, the
retired,
Saints
and
are like 70 million over the cap.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be rough no matter
he
what.
definitely was like, I don't want to be here in next season. There's too much shit on me. Like,
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, let's see the cap space currently. Apparently the Dolphins have the most cap space.
Yeah, that's wild.
And yeah, wow, the Saints are 74 million over the cap. I thought the Packers were bad at 40 million over the cap. But
Yeah,
nope.
that's pretty bad.
Other teams over the cap. Cowboys at 21 million, Vikings at nearly 13 million, Giants at 7 million.
oh no!
When you're over the cap, you're supposed to be a good team. Titans at 6 million, Rams at 5 million, Falcons, oh god, at 4.6 million.
Dude, that's wild that the Rams are only 5 million over the cap.
Yeah.
If you're over the cap and you have a season as bad as out of the Falcons, the Giants, that's you GM bye. Like, go away. Like, you failed horribly.
Yeah. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's bad.
Someone said the Panthers are in a rebuild, and someone said Panthers are still in the demolition phase, actually.
It's true. That's 'cause
Fortunately.
Yeah. But other things that got brought up, apparently the Bears have hired a new GM, Ryan Poles.
They can only go with Ryan's. That's the
Ryan Pease. They went for a Ryan Pace to Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
They retired at Pace.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. I mean, yeah, he seemed to do all right. He was with Kansas City.
Yeah.
That seems okay.
I mean, I can only focus on his name at this point.
Yeah, I can.
I mean, they're not doing anything anymore this season, so you know.
Yeah.
And then the other big thing was rumors that Tom Brady might retire.
Yeah.
I think
rumor that Brady retires number 4,273,392.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, it was coming from him, but also like
he does a little trolling,
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
And also it's been like what, like a day since the loss out of the playoffs. He's probably feeling pretty down right now.
I think he's gonna come back.
I think so too. Yeah.
Like the Bay is too good of a team for him to be like, nah.
I think that honestly, it will depend on which guys we get back. He still has one more year under contract. But I think that if Tampa Bay had won this year again, I think he absolutely would be done.
Yeah, I agree.
The only thing keeping him coming back would be revenge for this, because I mean Brady's always a one-on, one-off, except when he wins back-to-back. But
he's not going to come back unless he thinks that the team can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's basically it. The Bucs would let him out of his contract because he's already done more than we could have ever hoped for.
Oh yeah. He literally took that team that was like 9-7 to the Super Bowl the next year.
Yeah.
Granted, they did pick up like good free agents, but still, that's still pretty impressive. So yeah,
I mean, he just had his like almost his best year this last year at 44 with the Bucs.
Joe Bucks.
There's also rumors here that the Lions and Colts former head coach Jim Caldwell is in the Bears building today. So Jim Caldwell could be the next coach of the Bears.
Dude, I mean, he was like the best coach that the Lions had back in the day.
He actually was, yeah.
Yeah, and they fired him, and they shouldn't. It was like stupid circumstances for his firing too. Like, didn't they have like a winning season and they fired him or something like that?
Like he went 14-2 with the Colts. He went 10-6 with the Colts. Then he went 2-14, got fired. Went to Detroit, went 11-5, and then with Detroit he went 7-9, 9-7, and 9-7. Yeah. Like, Detroit would kill for some 9-7 seasons right now.
Yeah, it's all been downhill since that.
Yeah. I mean, I think Jim Caldwell, like, I think he gets, I don't think he gets enough credit because, like, dude actually has a 62-50 record. Like, it's above 50% over 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he got to an AFC championship. So, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty good for me. I'd say I think that'd be a good hire, especially for a team like the Bears that just needs stability.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's there's your big news NFL stories of the week. There might be some other ones, but that's all I'm seeing. Right.
I mean, people looking for new coaches, people talking to other teams for coaching.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
It's all still up in the air right now. They're all looking around.
Yeah, so we will see. We'll see who the Saints' next coach will be. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean the Saints seem fucked. Like before Sean Payton and Drew Brees and stuff, like that team was how we consider the Browns basically. Like they were super garbage.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I hope they do all right for themselves.
Here's one that Rob will appreciate. The Buccaneers defensive coordinator Todd Bowles reports the Raiders requested an interview with him for a head coaching vacancy.
Well,
Yep.
Not impressed with the defensive coaching on the Bucs.
Then apparently Aaron Rodgers says he expects to make a decision on his future well before free agency. So that's at least good. So,
I think he's definitely gone. He's got to be gone, right?
He's probably got to be gone.
He's either retiring or we're going to trade him. Like, I don't see him coming back. And I honestly don't want him to come back at this point.
There were people saying that he's going to replace Brady in Tampa if Tom leaves. And
That'd
I'm like,
be so shit. I'd be pretty upset, actually.
I don't really want to have him, but I think of the alternatives. Like, Kyle Trask is not ready at all. Kyle Trask was awful in the preseason and the draft. I mean, like, I think he's going to be okay, but I don't see him being like a monster. But I'm like, what are the other alternatives? We can't go with Blaine Gabbert. We're not going to go get Mike Glennon or anything like that. So it's like, is Rodgers the best idea there? Maybe we should go for a Russell Wilson. I don't know.
I don't know if they'd want to trade him to an NFC team either.
Who's going to go get the mustache? That's what I want to know.
Honestly, my big conspiracy thing right now is that in Denver, they've got a second interview with the current Packers quarterback coach or offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, and he's really liked Hackett. So I'm like, if he gets hired as the Denver coach, he's like, yo, how about you come here? Denver's been one of those rumored teams. They got draft capital. They got a bunch of stuff. They've got wide receivers that like they can trade back in a deal.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they got a lot of cap space too.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a possibility. I actually wouldn't even mind that. I'd be like, yeah, I'll take a Jerry Jeudy, like some first round picks and whatever, and then roll out.
There's gonna be a side like a stray shot though too, because Devontae Adams is definitely not going to stick around if Rodgers leaves.
No, he's
he
will
just
not.
bouncing.
So that would free up a lot of cap room for us as well. But obviously, we'd rather have Adams. But I mean, they could franchise tag him, but he'd probably hold out, honestly.
Yeah.
And he probably should. I mean, he's top 3 in the league.
That's franchise tag is ridiculous that they can even do that.
Yeah. So either way, those are some of my theories, a game theory, if you will. And then we had football games.
Yeah. Boy, did we have football games.
We did. So first game was the Bengals Titans, and this was a game.
Yeah.
This game has killed the Titans, I think. I think they are now dead, as they have realized Tannehill ain't it.
Nope.
And they're not going to win with Tannehill, and they have a team that otherwise is pretty solid. Defense is pretty solid. Run game's obviously amazing. So like, what do you do, man? What do they do?
Trade for Aaron Rodgers, maybe.
Trade for Aaron Rodgers. Who wants to give us draft picks? I'll take them.
I mean, they also I think forced Derrick Henry back, or rushed him back to because he didn't seem like he was Derrick Henry in the game, and they still made him carry 20 times.
Yeah, they still worked him like a horse.
Yeah.
20 carries. I mean, the man is going to fall apart. I mean, he's definitely not your typical running back, but like he's not indestructible, as this injury clearly showed.
Yeah.
He definitely looked like he was a step off.
I wonder if he's getting upset and he wants out, because I feel like I would be like, because like, man, you're gonna kill me. Like or do players like that? They're like, yeah, fucking
honestly,
kill me.
I think he probably likes it.
Yeah.
He seems like the type of dude
players that are weird like that.
I mean, there's a lot of athletes where like they get injured and they're like, they'll just hide it. They're like, nah, put me back in. Like they just want to keep playing.
He's definitely a baller, and he also he is the man in Tennessee. There's no way he's going to some other team and not be the man there.
Yeah.
So I don't see him leaving. Tannehill, I'm honestly like, I'm not surprised that he's sort of floundering again. I was surprised at how bad he looked though in this game, because I didn't think, and I still don't think, that Cincinnati's defense is all that incredible.
No, the Titans win this game with almost even the slightly better performance from Tannehill.
Yeah.
Like, he played very bad.
Yeah. In fact, if he doesn't throw that pick at the end, they probably drive down and get a field goal to win it.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, like he just
and
is
I
so
think
bad.
The Bengals are just like the hot streak team in the playoffs right now. You know what I mean? Like they're riding like a momentum onwards, it seems.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a spooky team.
Ever since they beat who was it? Let's see. They lost to the 49ers in overtime, which now looking back on it, you're like, they beat the Broncos, beat the Ravens, they beat the Chiefs, then they lost to the Browns, but that was they rested their starters. So honestly, like ever since that 49ers loss in December, they've just kind of been rolling.
Yeah.
Even beating the Chiefs, which is going to be the game this week. So
yep.
It'll be a fun game. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think the whole world is rooting for the Bengals,
Yep.
except Kansas City.
Yeah.
Except Kansas City fans. Yep.
Yeah.
So honestly, it sucks for the Titans. They played. Honestly, the rest of the team did pretty decent, but Tannehill you can't throw 3 picks in a divisional playoff game.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Burrow threw one too.
He did throw one.
It wasn't like
It was
threw for a lot of yards.
tipped, and like it was barely even a pick anyway. It wasn't really his fault. It was just one of those incredible defensive, like he scooped the ball up like midair.
Yeah, it was like a volleyball thing.
Yeah.
On the other side of the coin, you also have got the fact that like Jamar Chase might be the best rookie wide receiver in the last like 20 years.
Yeah.
That is very true as well.
I think
so. He joined Chris Collingsworth as the only players in Bengals history with 100 plus reception yards in 2 straight playoff games. He's the only other player in Bengals history to do that. Keep in mind that he is a rookie.
He's a rookie.
Well, keep in mind that the Bengals haven't won a playoff game in 30 years.
And now they've won 2. Like
that's like it's a small sample size.
I mean, I was high on Chase before, like in the preseason and everything, but now like if he doesn't get Rookie of the Year, I don't know who does.
He really should.
Like Mac Jones is obviously going to have like an edge because of like quarterback and all, but I don't think at this point, especially after what they've already done, after what they've already accomplished, Jamar Chase doesn't get Rookie of the Year. There's no way. I mean, I cannot see it happening.
Yeah, I mean he's like breaking records already as a rookie.
Yeah, he's an absolute monster. They got that was such a great pickup by Cincinnati, and he and Burrow, of course, are going to go well because they both played for the same school. So
So it's Evan McPherson too, 4 of 4 for field goals with a 54-yarder.
Yep,
like pretty good at kicking.
Honestly, like kind of MVP. Like I feel like this is one game you can look at the kicker and go, I think he was the most valuable player. Like
who would have thought that special teams is important? It's just unbelievable.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
We're about to be.
We are about to be.
But yeah, dude, 3 sides of the foot. Dude, I remember back in the day when the Jets were good, we had like Mike Westhoff, and he was like a great special teams coach, and we had like the best, like one of the best special teams units in the league, and that was awesome. It was actually really good. It people underappreciate the special teams.
That's one thing the Patriots are really good at consistently.
Yeah.
So
it's because like Bill Belichick is a nerd about special teams.
Yeah, and I get why.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you think about special teams, just as the thing, like it gives you field position, which helps the rest of your team, and it makes the other team at a disadvantage when you're constantly putting them like within their own 15. So like, why wouldn't you focus on special team? It's just the thing that's kind of pushed aside, like special team.
Yeah, exactly.
Until you get to games like this one, 49ers Packers, said it all year. This team, yeah. This team, I said this team's gonna lose because they're gonna beat themselves and special teams, and boy did they.
Yeah, Coach Krendor, what gave you the idea that the special teams would be the greatest weakness in this Packer game?
Well, the fact that this entire year our special teams sucked giant asshole. So that was a big part of it. We would give up. We would give up giant return. Like, the Bears literally were in the game against us earlier this year because they had like a punt return touchdown and they kept starting at like their own 50 or like at the 50-yard line. And I was like, can we tackle anybody? Can we like stop them? And then Crosby missing like 9 field goals this year, and then Bajorquez, he'd do like a really good punt and then he'd shank it. And I'm just like, can we just like anything? Like just so I was like, all right, but it surely will not be a factor in this game. Well, 1 blocked field goal, 1 blocked punt for a touchdown, and 10 guys on the field to block a field goal to win the game later. Yeah. Now, I will say the special teams was awful, but if the offense could have gotten 1 more touchdown, we would have been fine. Just one.
The first drive, the Packers went down the field just like butter. Just whoop, we're in, touchdown. Then the second drive comes up and they're doing it again. Just they're going right down the field, like and then fumble.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was it.
And apparently that was just the fucking death nail. Like, oh, we fumbled, guys. We now will literally never see past midfield ever again.
Yeah,
dude. I didn't want to say it in the Discord because I didn't want to jinx it, but like the Packers have for at least this year and honestly the last couple of years have seemed like a team that's like really good in the first quarter and then they just like stop playing football.
Part of it,
at some points,
I do blame Aaron Rodgers for.
Yeah.
And it's because of what I mentioned earlier this season with the Chiefs. He's doing what the Chiefs were doing, what Mahomes was doing when he was playing like ass. He has open guys, and instead of taking what the defense gives him, he's like, down the field, double coverage. And you're like, stop! Stop!
He like only trusts Devontae Adams. He trusts no other receiver on the team.
Which doesn't make sense because he's like thrown to the other guys during the season. And they've been great. Like Lazard's been great the whole year. And Lazard was the dude how like it keeps going around. Mm-hmm. When he threw in the double coverage, he was wide open. In fact, if you look at the play from like that perspective of like the game board, it looks like he's throwing to Lazard. And you're like, oh, he's throwing to the wide. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, and that's part of just what he does. He just starts getting into his own head of like, I got to carry this team. I got to play hero ball. And then he just goes like, me and Adams, we got this connection. And then they don't. They have
on that play too. Like it, I think he was also trying to draw the pass interference. Yeah, and it usually works on those kind of plays. So, but yeah, even still, Lazard was like wide open.
Yeah, and I mean, if he converts that, like it's very possible we at least get a field goal there. Like you're already at midfield. Like he's probably catching it at like the 40-ish, and then he's got everywhere to run. So I mean, it's possible he gets down to like the 40-30 of their yard line. Mm-hmm. But like, and then AJ Dillon went out with a broken rib.
Yeah.
So that was bad. I mean, he had our only touchdown. Like that was our main thing. It was like, oh, we have Dillon in the cold. He's just gonna run people over, and he was running people over, and then he's like, he's out.
That stinks.
Yeah, that sucked. Aaron Jones still had like 129 yards receiving, 41 rushing yards, but like that was it. Like Adams and Jones had 18 combined catches. The rest of the team, Lazard had a catch, and Mercedes Lewis had a catch that he fumbled. That was it. That's everybody that caught a pass.
Yeah.
Like Lazard just drastically wrong because I didn't see a performance from the Niners where I was like, man, this Niner D is looking crisp. It didn't feel like that kind of game. It really just felt like the Packers just, I don't know, like they weren't all there.
Themselves.
Like,
Mm-hmm. Like I knew that was gonna happen. I was like, this is what happens. They start getting in their head, or like Aaron Rodgers starts getting in his head. The turnovers he starts like losing trust. He's like, I fumbled, but it's like, who cares? Like, go back to him. Like I don't know.
That's the exact way you get someone's confidence back.
Yeah.
you go back to them literally like on the next play. Like I hear this all the time from commentators and coaches are like, when a player makes a big mistake, if you go back to them like immediately, it actually like ups their confidence by like 1,000,000. Because they're like, okay, they still trust me. Like I fucked up, but they're like they still got it, and then they think I still got it. So let's do this, and then they play good.
Yeah. That's what leads me to believe Rodgers was the one doing all this. I don't think LaFleur was just like, all right, throw to Adams again. Let's go Adams again. Like
I mean, the Packers, I said it. I said a off. It was sort of an off comment during the game. I was like, man, the Packers really are looking like a one-player team that they've got over there with Devontae Adams. A lot of times he looks like he's the only person on an island that's open. I mean, not to take away from his individual skill level, because I mean, obviously he's top receiver in the game, one of the top anyway. But the offense was just completely inept in this entire run. I mean, I still don't think the Niners defense is that good, man. I really don't, because the Niners offense is basically Debo.
Yeah,
that is about it. But the Packers, you can't put 10 points on the board in a playoff game and expect to win.
No, They just needed like at least one more touchdown. And when you have a player he's being considered for an MVP, he won MVP last year, and you have an offense that was like one of the best offenses, and you can only get 7 points and then a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
like you don't deserve to win.
I think that honestly, and this is just my opinion on this, but I feel like getting the first week bye and the first round bye kind of hurts you more than it helps you. I mean, you can ask Tennessee and Green Bay about this.
I think it can hurt you. I think most of the time you take the advantage, but like a lot of times if you're a hot team going into the playoffs is like that scrappy wild card team. Like I've said it before, like that's what a lot of the teams that do the best are. That's how the Giants won. That's how the Packers won their one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's how the 49ers, that's the 49ers this year. Like they were that team.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's something to be said about just getting hot at the right time. Like it doesn't matter who you play if you're just clicking. Or I guess like
But the thing is that you run the risk of cooling off and you're going in rusty pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's what both the Titans and the Packers felt like this year. Like they felt like they weren't playing. It was just a regular season game for them. And it was surprising. It was surprising not to see Rodgers throw any touchdowns at all.
I would only argue against that because they came out it wasn't like they came out and they just looked bad. They came out and they looked amazing.
Yeah,
like they just drove down the field like nothing, and then the fumble really did mess him up. Like something happened, and he just lost his trust. And I mean, he threw 18 of his completions out of 20 to 2 guys.
I think we've just learned a lot about Rodgers this year, and I feel like we all now know that it seems like the exact kind of person to just assume he knows best. And that's not even a joke. I think that's the actual truth. I think if anyone's going to have like a mental breakdown and just become like super conceited and only think that they're the best player in the world, it's going to be Rodgers. And I think we kind of saw that on the field.
I think it's the case where he is very... like he has that memory where like he can break down defenses. He knows all these things. Like he is smart and knows a ton about the game. But when you let yourself get to that point where you start thinking you know more than everybody and you're like, I can outsmart everyone. I'm better than the coach. I can call the plays. And then you start just doing this shit. Like this is what happens. Then you start being like, I'm going to throw to my one guy I like because we're good.
Yeah. So I mean, also important to note that the guy in the play where he was wide open, Allen Lazard, he had 1 catch in the game, but he was also targeted 1 time.
Yeah,
just 1.
Yeah. There was also a DeGuara drop, which was bad. So I think that's another thing went into it. He's like, another guy with a drop. I guess I'll go back to Devontae. And that's just what it is. So that's why I'm at the point now where I'm just done with it. I just want to move on, rip the Band-Aid off. Some people are like, you don't understand. We need our Hall of Fame quarterback. You don't know what it's like to not have that. And I'm like, dude, he's going to leave at some point soon. Either next year or the year after maximum, or he's going to retire. He's going to go, like, you can't just hang on to him forever. So we might as well get something back if we can. Right?
Yeah. Now's the time.
Yeah, I think now's the time. Plus, today, he also went on McAfee again, which I used to be like, dude, Rodgers on McAfee. This is great. Now I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's on McAfee again.
Just shut up, man. Just shut the fuck up.
And they said many people tuned in Saturday to root against him because of his vaccination status. And then someone in the thread is just like, nah, I just cheered against him because he's a dick. It's like, God, it's almost like he doesn't even care about football anymore. He just cares about he's becoming what they call him Throw Rogan.
It seems like brainworms, like that whole ideology. You can get so sucked into it and just you literally poison yourself and you become addicted to it. You actually become addicted to it.
Yeah, he honestly, he might be like retiring soon. This seems like the heel turn into like Aaron Rodgers becomes a podcaster.
He stayed around long enough to see himself as the villain.
Yeah, like it actually feels like it's to the point where he cares more about being a woke mob battler than he does about winning football games. Like it legit feels like that. And that's another reason I'm like, I just want to move on. Like, I don't care if we play Jordan Love and he sucks dick. All right, we could be like, whatever, screw it. We found out he's bad. We'd get another quarterback and try again.
You already know that's gonna happen, so
probably. But you gotta find out. Here's the thing. All right, my theory is that LaFleur he's coached like under Shanahan, and we've built the team very similar to the 49ers team. And so I think what he wants to do is he wants to play 49er style football. He wants to run the ball a lot, have a quarterback that can just, play action, make a pass, and then just have a good defense. And I'm fine with that. I think that fits the cold weather better, honestly. So I hope they'd kind of tailor it more towards that style of offense if they do move on, which I think they would.
Jordan Love season, baby.
So yeah, Jordan Love season. It'll be fun. And on the other side, 49ers were not great, but Deebo Samuel was great when it mattered, and Kittle made some good catches. And that's all they needed. Was just
their season.
Yeah. Their two best players made plays when they had to, and that's what it came down to.
Hey, here's a question that's very preemptive. Also, hello, Bear.
Hi.
Yeah. If the 49ers win the Super Bowl with Jimmy G this year,
no.
What do they do? What do they do with Trey Lance?
I feel like Sin is saying no to the idea of the 49ers winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, that's fair.
What you're suggesting.
That's very fair. But
even if they somehow win the Super Bowl, which they're my best friend's team, so at this point I'm rooting for them.
They've got to be the most outside shot, I feel.
But I don't know where this idea that all of a sudden Jimmy G is like an elite level quarterback.
No,
I'm not saying
garbage.
I'm not saying that Rob is saying that. I'm just saying he's always been mediocre at best. Look at his stat line from this game, dude. He barely did anything. I'm happy that the Niners won, and let's be honest. If they didn't have Kittle, they didn't have Samuel, they do not only do they not get in the playoffs, they don't win this game. Period.
Yeah.
They didn't win this game off the back of Jimmy G. So if they somehow do the impossible, go and beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl, then I think Jimmy G he's going to end up being a younger Flacco in this situation, where he's like, okay, well, you were on a Super Bowl winning team, but you didn't really get them there. And I can tell you from the perspective of a Niners fan, because again, my best friend's team is the Niners. He has not wanted Jimmy G there for a very long time, and a lot of other Niners fans feel the same way. So it's surprising that they got this far. And also Elijah Mitchell was also doing a lot of work. His average, they ran him a lot, and his average was only 3.1, but he made some pretty great plays that got them first downs when they really, really needed to kill the clock. And it's when we talk about the sum of a team effort here, and not really the back of just one quarterback. This is the Niners that is going to the divisional championship now.
You're looking at a team that has no chance unless they get insanely lucky. I feel like they match up a bit better against the Rams than the Chiefs, but they're still going to need, I think, some luck to beat the Rams. There's just, I know, and people are like, oh, they beat the Rams in this regular season. Yeah, barely, fucking barely,
in overtime.
And the Rams weren't playing for nearly as much for the Niners were. Yeah. And it's even if they beat the Rams, there is no world this team beats the Chiefs. They are not good enough to beat.
You mean the Bengals? Oh, it's Bengals season.
We can all hope, but my hope is
we're all hoping for a San Francisco Bengals Super Bowl.
That'd be sick.
I don't even need that. Cool. I just want the Bengals, dude. That's all I care about at this point. Just give me
I want Rams Bengals. That's a shootout. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
As long as the Rams don't make it.
Literally, just kick the Chiefs out and have a 3-way game with all the other teams in the Super Bowl.
Can we just have Bills Chiefs round 2?
Let's do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, or just let them play more.
Or you know what? Pride. Actually, just get rid of Mahomes and let Allen play for the Chiefs. He deserves it.
I like that.
Let Josh Allen play with the 49ers. Bring him in.
Make the Super Bowl a Pro Bowl instead.
Well, I don't know if y'all said it already, but this really was a sensational week of football, man. Just incredible games this weekend.
It was.
The wild card was kind of stinky.
Oh, it was very stinky.
Yeah,
it was.
Divisional games have been like really good. Yeah.
The worst. Okay, I forgot to mention one more Packer thing. The worst part about the Packer game was for years, like 10 years, we've been like, dude, if Aaron Rodgers just gets a defense, dude, if he just gets a defense every time, it's like they score 35 points on him. They literally played the best defense like ever. They gave up 13 points and they got him 10. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So it's dumb. Either way, it's possible next year we don't have, I mean, Roethlisberger's gone, Brady could be gone, and then Rodgers could be gone. Or on a new team. Like,
we might all be in phases of rebuilding, even though the Patriots, I still think they're massive frauds, but
dude, we could then we'll have a lot more in common with Rob. We can hang out with him more.
Welcome to the pit, friend.
Our teams are homogenizing in quality. It's perfect.
Although
next season's gonna rock, dude.
I wouldn't go that far.
You're not far off, Buckaroo. He's 45 next year.
The only reason I still have hope is our defense is still good, and we're still in the NFC North, which is like, the NFC North.
Watch out for them Lions, man.
This could be the Lions' time.
It could be.
If any team needs to rise up, I will cheer for the Lions, man.
I think everyone will. As long as that coach stays there, everyone's a Lions fan.
Yeah. Did you mention Rodgers' distribution in this game too? Man, he had 9 passes to Aaron Jones and 9 to Adams. This is ridiculous.
18 of his 20 completed passes were to the two dudes.
So crazy.
So, it was the game. So then we had the Buccaneers-Rams. And much like how I said, the Packers will beat themselves and special teams, and it came true. Sinvicta's just pass against the Bucs came true on the last play of the game.
Yep. Literally, all you had to do, like, I took heat from people for saying, like, why did we score with 46 seconds left when the obvious choice is for Leonard to kneel on the one, burn some time off, because what that does is it eliminates the possibility that you have either a blown coverage or a horrible call from Todd Bowles to blitz on that play instead of like just preventing the field goal. It's all you have to do. And sure enough, Leonard walked in, the Bucs were cheering, the comeback had been complete, on to overtime we go. Oh wait, here comes that vaunted secondary that's given up all of the pain this entire season. It was no surprise. I was like, when I saw it happen, I was like, there's too much time. There's too much time. Yep. And then they go one-on-one coverage with the literal top receiver in the NFL by far. You're going to lose, especially when we're talking about the Bucs secondary. And, it really, not to get too ahead of myself, but at the end of the game, Bruce Arians at the post-game press conference originally claimed that not everyone had gotten the call for an all-out blitz. The idea was that the call was a full blitz to pressure Stafford before he could get enough time to get a pass off like that, because apparently they somehow saw that coming. And to answer it, he said that not everyone got the call, and it was basically a blown coverage on that. But in reality, he was completely contradicted by Devin White, who said, no, we all got the call. We just didn't do it. We just didn't perform it. We just didn't execute it. And then the day later, Bruce Arians, he apologized. He said that was a mistake on my part for saying that not everyone got the call, because we did. So, which means that it was a conscious decision to send everything on that instead of trying to prevent the play from happening. And it fell apart. I mean, I was saying from the start that this game was just pretty much over, like from the start, because I was like, yep, this is just it. We can't stop Kupp. We can't stop Stafford. We're not getting penetration on the line. It's over. And then we somehow get not one, but 2 miracles given to us. And, and then of course at the very end, like Coach said, you want to beat the Bucs, just pass on them. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
This game was misleadingly good. Like, it actually wasn't that good of a game. Like, there was no world that Brady should have had a chance to come back. Like, the Rams just were like, oh no, the ball, and they just fumbled.
Oh my god, dude, they fumbled like how many times? Like 3 or 4?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
3 or 4 times.
Like, this was not a game up until the Rams absolutely self-destructed in spectacular fashion.
And then
it
they're
was
like,
20-3
oh, they'll
at halftime.
just kick the field goal to go ahead, and they missed that, and you're like,
I mean, it was
27 to 3. They saw it was 27 to 3. Yeah. And they
should have
like,
gone for 2 just to do it.
I said that in the Discord. I was like, they should go for 2 just to the
he actually he almost did it too. He almost came back the whole way, which is hilarious.
I mean, there was just so many people were looking at it like, no,
yeah,
no, yeah, no.
It would have been hilarious if he. But important to note, since Victor was talking about leaving too much time on the clock. People don't give this guy specifically this credit enough for this. But so Tom Brady, everybody knows, he has a lot of comebacks, right? He's the second most career comebacks in the league right now, still behind Peyton Manning. But who's number 5 is Matthew Stafford with 34 comebacks. He's a real comeback kid himself. Like he does comebacks a lot. So if you leave any amount of time for him, that's it's a major problem.
If you watch that ending play again where he makes the pass, he's about to get hit by Sue. And he just doesn't flinch. He isn't like, geez. He makes the throw, and then he's like, well, then this takes the hit.
Yeah. And Sue was screaming at him early in the game.
Yeah, it's like something about getting kicked.
He claims that Stafford kicked him. Sue's we all know he's trash.
Yeah.
We all know he's garbage.
Yeah.
And he tried to claim that Stafford kicked him when all Stafford was doing was extending his legs to try to rock himself to get up off the ground after he got plastered by Sue. Yeah. So, the idea that Sue even mentions and complains about kicking someone, cough, cough, stomp, cough, cough, is laughable. So shut up, Sue. He didn't kick you. Quit being a baby.
Yeah.
The whole, I mean, the Bucks really shouldn't have even been in this game. Like I said, it was 2 miracles. It was a block and then a strip fumble that Sue actually did, which was a great play by him. I will give credit where credit's due. That even gave us a chance in this game. And then, Tom was doing the Tom thing that he can do. And it's a shame that it ended the way it did. But I'm not surprised. And when I saw it happen, I wasn't mad or anything. I was like, yeah, it's what I've been saying all season. We cannot cover the pass. We literally cannot cover the pass. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, it was a great season. 13-4 is definitely something to be proud of. It's going to be sad to see Tom go if this is indeed it, which it definitely feels like it is. He sounds like he's already taken the laps out.
Man.
I hope not. The only thing that brings him back is first off, he's still under contract, and
he's on contract, yeah.
he wants to make up for this game. So everything is it's still fresh. I'm not gonna FUD out here and say that Brady's done. He's definitely done, because I mean literally everyone on TV is saying this right now. But Tom had one of his best seasons ever. Definitely in the running for MVP, I would say, and I think that I would love to have him back. But if somehow, just so past Invicta can have this on record, if somehow this is Tom's last get-go, it was like an honor just to have him on the team. It was great to see him play. Me and Bear got to share a fun memory together just to go see him.
Very fun.
The game was fun.
The game was very fun. 100%.
Yeah. But what he did for us down here can never be repaid, and we got a Super Bowl out of it, so I'm good with that. If this is the end, then man, at least I got to feel what it was like to have the GOAT on your team before we go back down to the Rob Pit.
Yeah. Well,
do we have to call it that?
That's where it is. That's where it is. You didn't get to experience it. You had one barely bad year.
Yeah.
By the way, the NFL passing leader is now 0-56 in the playoffs, I believe.
Right, yeah.
So, wow.
Wacky stat. That is an insane stat.
Also, I tweeted that, but good old Antonio Brown tweeting himself holding a sign that says Bucks eliminated.
Oh my
Good
God.
riddance.
He's such a huge piece of shit. But also
a giant asshole.
Also, like, dude, what is still so crazy to me? Like, I know the hyperbole about Tom Brady is never ending, but like the fact that we're still like he still has more in the tank. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's not an
100%.
argument of he should hang it up because he's done. He's not done at all. He's still very clearly one of the best quarterbacks in the league, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like the thing that like a lot of QBs when they retire, when they're like 40 or whatever, a lot of them will claim that they could still throw the ball and like play the game well. It's just getting hit hurts a lot more and we heal slower and stuff, right? But I mean, like it's kind of an underrated aspect of Tom Brady in that like he's been getting hit for years now and he's still like
he trains for it, dude.
Yeah,
like he specifically trains to get hit.
Yeah. Which he has to, I mean, really, because I mean, like most QBs, it's just that's what happens. Like, and honestly, you could watch videos of like QBs that are like, 45, 50, and they can still sling it. Like if they could play in the NFL, like without
when risk breaking a hip being out there on the field, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, then they would be good. They would be good players again. Still,
it will be absolutely wild if Rodgers retires before Brady.
That is pretty absurd.
That would be hilarious. Yeah.
And the thing is, it could be a possibility. I'm not saying
it might happen. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna. I'm not saying that it's probable. I'm just saying it's definitely within the realm of possibilities that if that happens, that would just be absolutely insane.
It really would.
I will say Tom Brady only got sacked 22 times this year. Versus number one, Joe Burrow got sacked 51 times this year.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. How is he still standing?
They're in the championship game.
But
for real.
Well, the problem is that we lost Tristan Wirfs. That was the death knell in us being able to stop Aaron Donald. And then our backup, Joey Wells, Christopher Wells. It's Tristan's backup. He was injured in like the first 2 series of the game. And he actually stayed in is number 72. If you ever watch this game again, go watch our right guard. He basically was playing on one leg, and I'm not even joking. Like he could not plant, and he could not stop he could not stop the linemen like get like a good amount of torque and stopping power to stop them from rushing by. He had to go because he just could not. His leg was going to fall off. So we got desperate enough because his backup also got injured. We had to pull our left guard and play them on the right side. And that's always a bad sign because I've very briefly played offensive line, and it is not an easy. It's not as simple as just standing up and just trying to stop someone from running you over. And that, the fact that Tom was only sacked 22 times is incredible because our line has been healthy up until the playoffs. And then once Tristan went down and once Ryan Jensen went down last week, like I was like, that's not good at all. Jensen played, but he definitely wasn't on his game. But Tristan Wirfs is by far our best lineman, probably like one of our best athletes on the team, and with him not being able to play, that we were just doomed.
O-line's very important.
Yep.
O-line and D-line, probably the most important positions that don't ever really get looked at as much because everyone's like, oh, the wide receivers and the corners and the whatever, but like defensive linemen make it so the quarterback has to rush their throws, and offensive linemen make it so the quarterback has time to make throws, or the running backs get good lanes. And it's like, well, that seems pretty important.
Yep.
And either way, that's the Rams moving on. Which, by the way, everyone was like, dude, is it Brady or Rodgers MVP? I'm ready to give Cooper Kupp the MVP at this point. Like 183 yards and a touchdown. And he's like plus on top of his season numbers. Like, let's give this dude the MVP.
He's having a really absurd season right now with Matt Stafford throwing to him.
Yeah. Speaking of throwing the ball, the Chiefs and the Bills.
Oh baby.
Oh man.
What a goddamn game.
A lot to say about this game.
Mahomes and Allen combined for over 700 yards and 7 touchdowns.
This is just some of the best quarterback play I've seen in a minute from both teams, man. They were putting on a fucking clinic.
And some of the worst defense.
Yes, it's also true. But
like some of the most like obvious
like
rule changes that need to happen.
Oh
Also.
yeah. But no, like this was not like one of those games where I was like, wow, that pass was amazing. No, it's just like, oh, well, he's wide open again. Oh, it looks like he's wide open.
That's true. There was certainly a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, granted, if Aaron Rodgers was playing, he probably wouldn't get the ball if he's wide open.
That's a good point.
More specifically, though, man, like it wasn't necessarily the throws. It was just like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes just making magic happen, dude. They just would refuse to go down and just somehow find the yards on every play every time they needed to do it. It just kept happening.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen is so good.
Yeah,
I don't think we've talked about that enough. He was our meme quarterback for a minute, but he's really kind of evolved into like, holy shit, he's that dude.
Yeah, from hurdling a man to like being one of the MVPs.
And he hurdled a man in this game.
Yeah. He's into hurdling men. Like,
he is.
It's like his thing, you know?
He's very good, but I got to say, Patrick Mahomes was better this game. He just was. He ran for more. He ran for a touchdown. He had, if we combine them, he had the same amount of touchdowns as Josh Allen, and he just completed more. He did attempt more, of course, but like this was a game where when I was watching, I'm like, yeah, it's not over. Even with the 13 seconds, I'm like, it's not over.
Dude, same. I actually totally felt that. I was like, oh, they have way too much time left.
No, but it is over though. But it totally is over because you squib kick it. Can we talk about the fucking squib kick? I really want to talk about the fucking squib kick.
Yeah, they didn't really do a squib kick, did they? Yeah.
They're supposed to. They're supposed to kick, and then you only get one play instead of two, but they gave them two instead of one.
Dude, the kick out of the end zone in particular, like you should at least make it like you try to kick it to the one, but he just booted that fucking thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it went to the touchback.
If you squib kick it, like you force them to return it. They can't just take a knee. They have to return it.
Right.
And that is at least like a significant amount of time. Like and then they only have one play. And
by the way, off topic kind of, but I forgot that the Bucks kicker kicked it out of bounds twice.
Oh God, yeah.
That sure was fun.
But yeah, continue.
But yeah, no, that was a coaching meltdown. That 17 seconds of the game should have been over. It absolutely should have been over.
It's also a defensive. Like this is supposed to be the number one defense in
for real.
The NFL.
There's so many bad decisions that had to have been made there. Like,
so
why did he rush 4? Why did he rush 4? Why would you ever rush 4?
Yeah,
like literally, just blitz or don't fucking rush 4.
Honestly, like barring the stupid playoffs overtime rules, which I have updated stats on that. I don't know if you guys saw some of the stats on that stuff.
Yeah, it's absurd.
No, but I'll talk about that in a second. But barring that, like honestly, the Bills really lost when they gave Pat Mahomes the ball again and then gave up 60 yards in 8 seconds. Like it's just, I mean, you know, you can't let that happen and expect to win the game too. I mean, I you know, it's still Pat Mahomes and whatever, but still, it's 60 yards in 8 seconds. It's the number one defense.
Yeah, that should be a win condition for the other team, honestly. If they can ever do that at any point in the game, they just win.
And it's so annoying because it was the same shit we've been seeing all day. They weren't like crazy throws or tight throws. The guys were just wide open. How do you let that happen?
Tyreek Hill run. Where he just caught it and sprinted.
Oh my God, he's just...
And that just shows the hypocrisy of the taunting rule as well, I might add. Just want to throw that one out, which, you know, it could... if anything, that just shows how arbitrary it is, as far as taunting goes.
But that's not a taunt. What the fuck is a taunt?
Yeah, exactly. He was doing it while during a live play, but that's beside the point. When he caught that ball and he turned on the Jets, I said it in the chat. I'm like, Tyreek Hill is too fast. This man is too fast to play this game because
he's
good
extremely
God.
fast.
Like even the taunting play, he's taunting the dude that's in front of him.
Yeah, he had the angle on him. It looks like.
Everyone else was moving in slow motion.
Yeah. But these are NFL players, man. It's fucking insane.
This game was definitely fun to watch. I was checked out of football by this point, but I still watched like the fourth quarter, and just this sheer amount of points that were scored in the last, what they say, like 5 or 7 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just the last 2 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
I have never seen that before, but like I kid you not. When I saw the 13 seconds, I'm like, the game's not over. This game is not over.
No, not
We
at
all said that when we were all watching this game. It's like it's not over. And sure enough, it was definitely the NFL's dream to have a game like this on prime time in the playoffs between two.
Except they fucked it up at the end.
Until overtime,
yeah.
Dude, what's it like having your quarterbacks throw to, what is this, 9 different people? That's wild.
Yeah.
So, like, in case anybody didn't watch the game, well, you missed out on a very good one. But then what happened was 13 seconds left. Pat Mahomes drives down the field, ties the game, which is just absurd. So we go to overtime, and then the Chiefs win the coin flip and score on the first drive, and game's over.
Yeah.
It was
Josh Allen never gets the touch.
Win of all time. There's no way that game could have ended worse, other than like a meteor striking the field and killing everyone.
Right. Well, that would have been way better.
Yeah.
It'd be sad, but it'd be incredible.
This is true. Yeah.
How did the meteor hit there of all places?
Square on the arena.
Is there a supervillain involved here?
Rob, I want you to give that. I want you to give that playoff OT stat again, though, because it's fucking insane.
Oh yeah. So I was talking about this too earlier, like about NFL overtime rules. They actually have a closer percentage to 50% than college rules, right? Because college is still 60% or something. But NFL is in the regular season 52% right now, right? In overtime. However,
that's for the team that wins the coin flip, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
They win 52% of the time in the regular season. In the playoffs, the team that wins the coin flip wins 90% of the time.
Yeah,
90%.
I think I understand the statistic, because I think what ends up happening is the better a team is, the better the teams are just in general, the more the coin toss matters.
Right.
Yeah. When you're in the regular season and the Jets are playing the Bills, et cetera, you just have these wild matchups. Overtime's not going to matter that much. The better team's probably still going to win in most cases. It comes down to when you have two really, really evenly matched teams, aka the playoffs, and we have this whole league trending towards offense, where teams are just well, what if we have quarterbacks that throw for 400 yards every game? And the NFL is more of that. It's a much bigger problem now, because defense doesn't fucking matter anymore. It's all about the offense, and the rule has to change. The rule has to change.
And really,
just not the way the game should have ended. And people, there's 2 arguments I hear that are just total bullshit. I'll destroy them right now. I'll do it. I'll fax them.
Hit them, dude.
The first argument is the Bills shouldn't have let them get the field goal. Come on, it's 17 seconds. And you're like, yeah, you're right, but that doesn't matter, because you can just think of what if the game clock was slightly different and Mahomes drove down the field in a minute and a half or something and got a field goal. That would be totally reasonable. And you wouldn't be well, the Bills shouldn't have let them drive down the field in a minute and a half. No, that wouldn't make sense. And that could have easily happened. And then the rule is just as horrible and bad, right?
Yeah.
It's just as bad. And the other thing is your defense has to be able to stop them, it's the football. It's no, these defenses are playing the highest caliber of football they can. It's playoff football.
And they're
the best teams. They're destroyed. They can't do anything. They've been on the field all game, trying to chase Tyreek Hill around and Cooper
and a
Kupp.
longer season too.
They can't. Yeah, they cannot play for that long. So the coin flip matters way too much. It is essentially a get out of jail free card in this current format.
You see how much the players celebrate when they win the coin flip. It's just we fucking
won,
basically.
Yeah. Everyone knew the game was over. I said in Discord, the second the coin toss landed, I said touchdown pass to Travis Kelce, game's over.
Oh, you did call it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that in your example, by the way, your brain still defaults to the Bills as a bad team. Bills, Jets, fucking whoever wins, it doesn't matter.
A good team versus a bad team.
Oh, okay. I see.
It should go. There's a couple ways that I think that overtime can be improved, which, by the way, if nothing was done after the last time we had this discussion, 2019, whatever it was.
And it happened to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
With
happened
the
to the Chiefs.
Patriots.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. They're just the NFL is not going to do anything about it. They don't. The people
probably not.
complaining. The people complaining on social media has a 0.0% footprint on what the NFL cares about. So just get that out of the way right now. But there's two things in my mind that could improve it. One, it needs to be just a 10-minute quarter. 10-minute quarter. Just say whoever is leading after this is the winner. If it's still tied, then just do another one. Or you could do, say, like put the ball on, let's say, like the 50 or maybe even your own 40-yard line, give you 4 downs, see what can happen with that. If you get a first down, keep driving. That way each offense gets a chance to be on the field, and treat it like a hockey shootout. It just goes back and forth until there's a winner.
Yeah. And I think college has the right idea. Keep upping the ante. Like, if they both score a touchdown, okay, well, now you have to go for 2. Like, you just have to. Like,
That'd be interesting. Yeah,
That's kind of
truly love.
For.
I love the idea. I think one of you guys brought it up. That was posted on Reddit. Someone was like, they put both offenses and defenses on the field at the same time.
at
the 50-yard line, and like in real time, they have to race each other.
Wasn't
hilarious.
Final fantasy battle, dude.
Wasn't that the XFL rule?
I think so. That'd be fun as hell, dude. That would like that.
Cool.
They just need to have on one end of the field have the offense versus the defense for Team A, Team B. On the other end of the field, have the offense for Team B going up against the defense of Team A. Whoever scores first wins.
Yeah.
That would be pretty crazy, actually.
It'd be hilarious.
Very dangerous. Before it counts, the team that scores a touchdown has to then take the ball, sprint it to the 50-yard line, and throw it in a trash can and dunk it, and then do 10 jumping jacks before it actually counts.
I'm honestly for a spelling bee.
You're making,
there we go.
I get it's hyperbole, but I do think that the overtime rules. Here, the best suggestion I saw, and they're never going to do this, but I think this is the right thing to do. In the regular season, there should just be no overtime. You should just tie. Like, it should just be a tie at the end of the game.
I'm okay with that
to do it. That's the fair way to do it. But overtime is exciting, and we like overtime, so we have to have overtime. But in the regular season, you should just tie. But in the playoffs, they should just think of a very cool but also very fair thing. Like, just this is a chance to make something new and exciting.
So here's
skills
my
challenge.
They should.
They had to do the Pro Bowl skills challenge.
Absolutely.
My thing was, all you do is just you flip the coin. Winner gets to see who wants to go first. Be like, I'll go first. They can go first. You put your offense on the field at like the 50-yard line. They can go down the field. If they get a field goal, great. The other team gets to go. And if they get a field goal, you do it again. But if they get a touchdown, then you have to get a touchdown. You have to match what they're doing, and if you don't, you lose.
Yeah,
at least give them a shot, right?
Yeah.
Anything is better than them not ever seeing the field.
That's basically what I said. So
in the
minus the
modern
jumping
NFL, in the modern NFL, like, teams in the playoffs right now are teams with great offenses, right? And that's clearly what the coin flip is showing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for a game especially like this, for Josh Allen to not be able to touch the ball after the touchdown that puts them in the lead or whatever, or puts them in the lead, like, it's bad for the entertainment of the sport, like, that's
people wanted to see it.
Nobody that was a Chiefs fan liked the end of that game. Like, it was a very lame ending that did not feel fair at all.
I don't know about that, actually. I was going to make the point that, like, this is a kind of a cynical point of view, but this might be the case that the NFL actually kind of prefers it this way, because I doubt that they sell a lot of overtime ad slots, because that's probably not something they really plan on. And to have a system wherein there is an exciting conclusion that often favors just, one team going down and ending it as soon as possible, that might be to their benefit. I don't know, like, if that's necessarily true, but it kind of makes sense to me.
They could figure something out. Have some team be like, if we make it to overtime, or some company, if we make it to overtime, it'll be the fucking Hawaiian Punch overtime.
As a throwback, dude.
Like, they could do it. It just sucks. I mean, I've had it happen numerous times with the Packers. It was like 2013, the Cardinals-Packers, when the Hail Mary happened, and we were like, dude, Hail Mary, let's go. Then the Cardinals got the ball, they scored, we didn't get to touch it again. Like, same shit happened, there's some other years, same thing happened to the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes doesn't get to touch the ball again. Like, just come on.
Yeah, no, it's just
change.
bad.
It has to change.
They should, but you know what the thing is like they're not going to change it in a cool way. I'm certain. Like it's the same thing they were doing like with the kickoffs and stuff. It's like they're not willing to actually try something out and alter the sport like significantly. Like they're going to do some minor like little something or whatever to appease a small amount of the fan base and stuff. You know, but I don't know. They really do need to fix something about the overtime because it is 90% is just that's not competitive. Like that's for literally random chance to decide a game so heavily is very bad.
A game where these teams have been playing for months. Like they've been playing for months. This is like what they've been working up to, and it's just like coin flip.
Yep, 50-50 shot. Yeah.
Imagine how horrible Josh Allen must have felt not ever stepping on the football field again.
The camera was on him at the end of the game. He just like that's the face of like someone who doesn't even know what to think. Like he didn't look
1,000-yard stare,
he
dude.
didn't look happy. He just like what
dejected.
He was just empty.
Just imagine how helpless and horrible that must make you feel as a quarterback. It's like I literally can't go back on the field. I can't help my team because we didn't win the coin flip. I mean
and his last play was a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, the last play that he got to touch the ball was a touchdown, and he, you know, doesn't get to touch the ball again at all.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I did see one recommendation that I think is probably the best one out of all this. It was having a pie eating contest.
Now we're talking.
You have a dedicated player for eating the pie. So like your dude, like go get him, and they're like, oh, he's got a top tier pie eater, dude. This is over. Right? That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm in. I'd do it. I'd be game for that. I mean, the XFL did a bunch of stupid shit with some of the rules that were actually like some of them real bad. Like instead of the coin toss at the beginning of the game, and I think even in the overtime, it would be like a race between the two
they'd race to the midfield.
Players. Yeah, but they got injured all the time doing that, so it's a very bad idea.
Take two random players, have them speed run Mario 64, see who wins, and there you go.
We've all got fantastic, flawless ideas for this. Okay, I think we can go all day.
By the way, shout out to Gabriel Davis, the guy that I think only Bills fans knew about.
That everybody picked up on their playoff fantasy team.
200 yards and 4 TDs on 8 catches. My God.
It's just absurd.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a stat line that's going to be touched in the playoffs anytime soon. And it came from Gabriel fucking Davis.
Yeah.
I don't know, Cooper Kupp.
He's been doing things for sure.
Jesus Christ. He's 22 and he has 2 years of NFL experience already. This is his second season.
That's wild.
My goodness.
So, I mean, the Bills are still in a great spot for years to come. It does suck.
Yeah, that's a really disappointing way to leave the playoffs, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, I'll leave you with one spicy fact here. Which is the Bills would have played yesterday's game in Buffalo had they defeated the Jaguars in Week 9. The Jaguars' 3 wins kept the Colts out of the playoffs, kept the Dolphins out of the playoffs, and forced Buffalo to play in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So, that's when, it's way back when you see those games, you're like, man, I can't believe they beat the Bills, whatever. And then you realize, like, oh, that changed everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sort of, right? Like, cause also if they had just scored another touchdown in the first quarter, they would have also won this game.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, but it's the thing that like every game counts, right? You're not just
yeah, exactly.
That was just a meaningless game. Like at the end of the season, you see the Raiders and like Dolphins and all those teams and the Colts, and they're just like, man, if we could have just won one more game by doing one more play. But. That's the divisional rounds. Invicta, do we have power rankings?
We do indeed have power rankings. Inexplicably, somehow, Coach Crendor got to say that with everything going on, you wouldn't expect much of a shakeup. It's not like that a lot of the teams got removed, but indeed we did. So starting with the top 5 in the power rankings, Robert.
I will take the Chiefs.
Yeah. Fair.
Let's go with the Rams.
Yeah. Coach?
Let's go with the 49ers.
Yeah, Apollo. how do they do it?
The Bills.
Yeah, and Rob
Yeah.
Well,
Hey.
I think it's very clearly the Jets.
That is correct.
Nice, good job,
New York
dude. Well
Jets,
done.
Thank you. Yeah.
But no, Bear.
Maybe the Bengals.
It is indeed the Cincinnati
Wow, how
Bengals.
did you know that?
I don't know how I got that
Going
one, dude. That was a bit of a Hail Mary, I'll
For
tell
the
you
top 5 in the NFL Power Rankings, NFLPowerRankings.com Power Rankings, the Kansas City Chiefs move up from 3rd to 1st. In the first rank here, the Niners tie for the thinnest dink in the Power Rankings, going from 7th to 2nd, tied with the Los Angeles Rams, who also went up 5 from the 8th to the 3rd spot. The Bengals now climbing up to the 4th spot from the 6th spot, and then the Bills have inexplicably dropped. I don't know why. They dropped from 2 to 5. How'd that happen? With the Packers getting the fattest doink, now dropping 5 down from 1st to the 6th spot. The Bucks going from the 4th to 7th spot, and then rounding out the bottom of the NFL Power Rankings, the lowly Tennessee Titans. They are so close, but so far dropping from 3rd to 8th. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, did the Saints move?
There are no Saints on the board, Rob. Their season's been over for weeks.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I thought they showed all the teams.
We got to follow the Saints movement.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
There's only 8.
They're only doing the playoff teams. They're
And
not
that's
doing-
going to do it for the
see.
Power Rankings. Back up to everyone in the booth. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
All right. Thank you for the power
only-
rankings.
3 games left.
So, yeah, 3 games left. Let's talk about some pick'em stats here this week.
Pick'ems.
Pick'ems.
I went 0-5. I lost all my games, so that wasn't good. Yep. Sinvicta went 3-2, and his lock curse backfired.
Yep.
It's finally broken.
Did
the only
it?
reason it went 3-2.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it did. That's
Right,
why
I'm
you
pretty
did
sure.
it.
Did it?
Yes.
Or did it?
It did.
Are you
Oh, boy.
secretly a Rams fan this entire time?
Talking to the Pick'em's Crown winner 3 years in a row, and now tied for first with playoff Pick'ems.
That's
I mean,
true.
the proof is in the pudding. I will not take any discourse saying otherwise.
You would have
All
been
right.
even if it weren't for locking against your team. So I actually give more credit to Randy on this one. Since he went
That's
3
true.
and 1.
Randy did go 3-1. Yeah, Bear went 2-3. Rob went 1-4. Apollo went 1-4. Discord went
Right.
2-3.
So you guys didn't hear, because I picked on stream. I wasn't there for last week, and I wanted to go 0-5. Like, my goal was to pick in a way that if I went 0-5, everyone would be like, football fans in general would be happy with the results.
Nice.
People didn't really want to see the Chiefs, and people didn't really want to see the Bucks anymore. Like, I don't think people really wanted to see the Packers either that much. So it was like, let's pick I'm going to pick the most depressing outcome. That way, if I win, I'll be right, and then if I lose, I'll be happy. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But the NFL overtime rules just fucking had to ruin it. They had to
Once
ruin it.
again, I said, man, I would love a Super Bowl where it's Packers versus Bills, Titans, or Bengals, and now it is literally just down to the Bengals, and I'm expecting that to fail, and I hope it doesn't. So we've got Pick'em Stats.
Pick'em stats. Wait. We need the One Piece corner, Rob.
Oh, okay. What character do you want to know about? I guess
The one that was like yow or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's just this Peckham's. He's a lion person.
Yeah. What sound does he make though?
He goes yow.
Yeah, there we go. All right. I
Yeah,
think that's all we wanted from that.
Okay,
That's all
yeah,
we
Might
wanted.
just be,
Corner from Rob.
might just be Dan Campbell, lion person, yells.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Kind of.
That's the Dan Campbell sound.
There you go.
Yeah.
How
That's it.
many venties do you think a non-playoff Dan Campbell is taking every day?
Probably only down to 1.
Yeah, maybe.
Blood.
Over under is 2.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay.
I think
Blood
he's
is
once
over.
every meal kind of guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Pick'em Stats.
Pick up that.
Discord has been the best cumulative divisional round record. Neat.
Yeah. Well,
Makes sense.
That's because they just vote for the things that make the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
We said it. The Packers have now been triple locked 3 times. 1 regular season, 2 playoffs. They are 0-3 in those games.
Yikes.
Oof.
Sinvicta is 5-8 all time on his playoff locks. He entered this year on a 6-game playoff loss streak, and it has been broken.
That's right, because you know why there's a 6-game playoff loss streak is because every single one of those was a win. That's right.
Well, yeah, I mean that. Yeah,
Right.
but now it's not.
But now it's not.
No, now it's an actual win.
Well,
But was it?
Yeah.
see, Sinvicta's a glass half full type of guy. You gotta understand.
He's just a glass half.
That's basically my strategy. Is whenever I feel like I need a pick me up, I just pick
Look
what I wouldn't want to happen, and then you're either right
Exactly.
or happy.
Yeah.
You can't lose. Apollo gets it.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of, you can't lose or win. This is the first time Krendor's picked the Buccaneers in a playoff game. He's now 0-9 predicting Buccaneers in the playoffs. On the other side, this is the first time Bears picked against the Buccaneers in a playoff game. He's now 7-0 predicting the Bucs in the playoffs.
Oh my god!
I love Krendor Sloth's face on
He's
that.
tossing it away.
The mouth
That
is
is very
the
good,
mouth
yeah.
has been reversed and flipped. It's so good.
It's like that. I don't
eating
want
the
to play with
Buccaneers
this
flag.
anymore.
Stop picking the Bucks. Damn it.
My record has literally just been pick the Bucks to win every playoff game they've played up to this point, except for the last one, and that's worked pretty well.
It has worked pretty well. You're not wrong. That's your bonus
job, Barry.
stats.
Thanks.
So, this is it. Big time pick'ems conference championship round.
Oh baby,
This is gonna be intense.
It's gonna be intense.
Is there a One Piece character that makes that sound, Rob?
What? Woo!
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll get back to you.
Probably.
Let us
I'll
know.
get to it. Yeah, it's got 1,000 episodes. You know?
Okay.
It does.
when that person shows up, you let us know.
Yeah, I'll get you.
Bengals, Chiefs.
I will be locking the Chiefs.
Oh.
Wow.
And I'll also be locking the Rams.
What?
I'm double locking. I am so confident.
I thought you were
going to
gonna
be a Chiefs Rams Super Bowl. You heard it here first. It is Chiefs Rams. It is what is going to happen. There is no changing that.
All right. I'm going to pick the
Yeah.
games I want to see. Actually, wait. Okay.
No, you pick what you don't want to see.
That's
how you
right.
get
I pick what I
happy.
don't
Yeah.
want. I want to see Rams Bengals, so I'm going Chiefs, and I'm locking the 49ers.
Wow,
I love it.
Wow.
Yep.
I am locking the Cincinnati Bengals
Yeah.
over
Wow.
the Kansas City Chiefs as a goof.
As a goof.
As a
All right.
big goof.
I am also going to be double locking, but check it out. I'm locking the Bengals
And the
and
Chiefs.
I'm locking the Chiefs.
All right. I'll allow it.
Hell yeah, dude.
So we're just not counting stats anymore. What we're doing.
It's only 2 games.
You've won the playoffs crown for what it's
Yeah.
worth. If
If you want to see the next level of winning and being right, that's we
Well,
have
it's-
gone beyond.
Technically, Discord. If we're ending it now, then Discord and I both share the crown. But that's
Oh,
fine.
okay, so you guys can take it seriously. We'll just go ahead and throw our picks in the garbage.
No, I don't want to take it serious. I want to lock the Jets and the Cowboys.
Oh, damn. Hey, he's going wild
Cowboys
cards.
Super Bowl? That's never happened before.
So that's
Yeah.
official now. Sinvicta is now locking the Jets and the Cowboys for the conference championship. So let the stats reflect that.
Please put that in there. Yeah.
No.
I know I say it I've said it so often, but like I didn't do that well in pick'ems this year, but I made the ultimate pick'em where I said the Rams were gonna win the Super Bowl, and I said it in fucking preseason. I said it before preseason, and
Yeah.
I just want to be right. It made me feel so good.
That would
It
be
might
pretty
be
cool.
right.
I will be locking the LA Rams.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Back
Yeah.
to back
But I'll
weeks.
actually I'll take the Chiefs and the Rams because I would like to see a Bengals Niners Super Bowl because that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would be fun.
You guys are on the right track.
I'll be locking the Rams, and if we're double locking, then I'll also be locking the Chiefs.
I will take a single lock of the Bengals, and I'll have a normal Rams choice. I'll go ahead and just take a normal Rams pick.
Can we get a 2.5 quarter-pound lock with the Chiefs Buffalo game again?
Extra Debo Samuel on the side, please. Thank you.
Yeah, and 2 hurdles from Josh Allen.
Okay, I got a chocolate milkshake.
Yep.
No, you can get a chocolate milkshake. Sorry.
No, it's broken. I'm sorry.
The machine's been busted for years.
Well, here comes the Randy pick.
Hey, Randy has to pick.
Randy has to pick. Here
Randy
he
and
goes.
Debo locking.
Randy is going to take the Cincinnati Bengals.
Lock in the Bengals for Randy.
And Randy's taking
Randy.
the Los Angeles Rams.
All right, Randy.
Yes, Randy doing what I wanted to do. I like it. There it is. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody. Next week, football will be ready to cover the Super Bowl. Super Bowl. I'm not even stopping it yet. I'm just letting him. All right, now I'm stopping it.